Browns winners here in Cincinnati, 35-20, Mary Kay. Their second win in a row. They are now 4-6-1 on the season. And the really important thing out of this is look where it happened. We are not at First Energy Stadium. We're in Cincinnati. The Browns won a road game.
Yeah, they finally did. They snapped that 25-game road losing streak. They avoided tying the Lions for 26 straight on the road, an NFL record. And boy, they did it in convincing fashion. They had a lot of motivation to go out there and beat Hugh Jackson. As it turns out, they were mad at Hugh Jackson for defecting to the Bengals. So they had a lot of fire in their bellies, especially Baker Mayfield, who had 4 touchdown passes. They scored on their first 5 full drives, and it was basically a rout.
Yeah, the Browns tried to downplay the Hugh Jackson story all throughout the week, but, you mentioned Baker Mayfield, what he did during the game. We saw Demarius Randall intercept the pass, hand the ball to Hugh Jackson, actually stepped out of bounds, might have given up some yards on the return in order to do that. And then, of course, Baker Mayfield, after the game, had some strong things to say about Jackson as well.
He really did. He admitted afterwards that when Hugh Jackson came and sought him out after the game and really kind of went in for the hug, Baker just left it as a handshake and basically said, I didn't feel like talking to him. He left. He was our guy. He was our coach. He left, went to the enemy. We had to face him twice. And, they really did. They dug down deep. They used it as motivation. And he said, everybody on the team should feel that way.
Now, coming away from this game and, of course, the Atlanta game, you're talking about 2 games won by 2 scores each. We've seen fluky games before from this team late in the season over the years, but these 2 wins feel like really solid wins. Like, this is something this team can build off of long term.
Well, absolutely. I think more so than anything, it's a huge confidence boost for the offense. Now, we all know they're playing horrible defenses, but it's almost like they don't know about that and they don't care about that right now. What they feel is that they are playing lights out and it's something to build on. So that when they do go play a good defense, it's almost like ignorance is bliss. They'll feel like, hey, we've got this. So they needed to get, feeling good about themselves in terms of scoring points, scoring touchdowns, and they had a lot of fun out there today.
And I'm going to say this. Nobody's coming out to say it, but I do think in that locker room they believe they can put a little run together and maybe make some things interesting here down the stretch in a weak bottom of the AFC. Like I said, nobody really wants to come out and say it just yet, but I do think it's simmering a little.
Well, there have been a few guys that have talked about that lately. Demarius Randall even talked about it again today about how, he feels that they are a very scary football team to play right now. If nothing else, he said our backs are against the wall, but if nothing else, they can spoil some things for some other people. They basically started to spoil things today for the Bengals, who were 5-5 before this game, now slipped to 5-6, having lost 5 of their last 6 games. So, again, back-to-back wins for the first time since 2014. Snapping that 25-game streak and going 2-1-1 in the division.
And they are a 4-win team for the first time since 2014. This is the most games they've won since that season when they won 7. So a lot of people feeling good about the Browns right now as they win against Cincinnati. Speaking of playing spoiler, they get to go to Houston next week. That should be another fun matchup between Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson. Of course, we'll have all the coverage from this game and that game at cleveland.com/Browns.